Well, good morning, my kings and queens. This is your it is not morning time. All right. Well, we're in the studio now, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. I am live on TikTok. So, welcome in, everyone. If you guys don't know who I am GinaSherrie with the Daily Dose. So, you're listening to WGSL Talk Radio 104.7, the space where clarity meets courage, where healing meets action, and where you come to get an aligned with the version of yourself that you're growing into. So, right here is all about positivity, growth, and most importantly, accountability. So, I just want to take a moment to welcome you in. This is your first time tuning in. You've been walking with me for a while. I'm grateful that you're here. And remember, healing doesn't have to be loud, and growth doesn't have to be hard. Sometimes transformation is a whisper, a small shift, and a moment of truth. So you guys, welcome into the Daily Dose. All right, so the way that we do it here, we recap from the last show. So we're going to do that. If you guys tuned into the last show, then you guys know we spoke about you're not stuck, you are scared. And so we're going to do a recap of that, and then we're going to follow up with the new topic for today, and then we're going to do some listeners' comments, and then we'll go into our journal. So if you guys are new to the Daily Dose, I do give out journal prompts that you guys can do for the week. You guys can keep up with it on my Instagram. You guys can let me know how the journal is going. And the journal is for the purposes of just like writing down your thoughts, being honest with your thoughts and your feelings and things that you need to work on. Okay, so if you guys haven't got your journals yet, definitely do that. You guys will hear me talk about that throughout the show. Okay, first let's recap what we talked about last time on the last show. You're not stuck, you are scared. So the last time we talked about a powerful truth, and we uncovered how fear often disguises itself as confusion, procrastination, or being overwhelmed. We talked about how fear will convince you that you don't have an option, when in reality you have more choices than you allow yourself to see. We also walked through how clarity comes with movement and not perfection. We also talked about how bravery is not the absence of fear, but is the willingness to move anyway. So today we're going to take that conversation a little bit deeper, because sometimes the thing we're scared of lives right inside of us. Okay, so going into today's topic. Today's topic is sleeping with the enemy. I put that on Facebook earlier, and I did get quite a DMs like, what are you talking about, sleeping with the enemy? So it is not what you're thinking. Sleeping with the enemy, before people's minds start to wonder, let's bring in like a real meaning for it, okay? The enemy is not always a person, another person. The enemy is not always, sometimes the enemy is your insecurity. Sometimes it's your low self-esteem. Sometimes it's the doubt you whisper to yourself. If you are up late at night, sometimes as I am, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and can't sleep. So sleeping with the enemy is basically sleeping with yourself. You're sleeping with your insecurities. You're sleeping with the doubt that you have about yourself, about the goals or anything that you want to achieve. So that's what I mean when I say sleeping with the enemy. And because those voices live within you, and it becomes easy to treat them like truth, It's easy to believe those thoughts, right? Like those self-doubts, those insecurities, I can't do it, or I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not anything enough to will hinder you from doing something that you want to do. And it also makes it easy to have space for them, and it's easy to let them crawl right into bed with you, right? So sleeping with the enemy. Okay, so how securities become internal enemies. You guys hear me talk about this throughout the daily dose. Insecurities, low self-esteem, things of that nature. Insecurities aren't born out of nowhere, and we all know that. You're not born thinking that you are bad or you can't. Insecurities that come from experience. And your experience can be rejection, it could be abandonment, it could be criticism, it could be you being compared to someone else. It could be trauma or growing up without affirmations. And you guys hear me say that a lot about affirmations, and giving yourself positive thoughts, and patting yourself on the back. That all goes together. But there's a thing that you learned, where you learn those insecurities, and then anything you learn can be unlearned. And you guys hear me talk about that as well. It's just a program. And once you deprogram and reprogram with positive thoughts, that you are, then it starts to shift your behavior, and it starts to shift the way that you're thinking, right? Because everything starts right here. Okay. Low self-esteem, the silent sabotager, right? Low self-esteem doesn't scream, it whispers, right? You're not enough. You're not ready. You always mess things up. You're too much. How many times have people told you that you're too much? You're not enough. That's a big one, you guys. I know growing up for me, myself, I was told a lot of times that I wasn't enough, that I wouldn't amount to anything. I was told that, that I wasn't worthy being loved. I was told all those things, right? And a lot of people don't understand, or maybe they do. Sometimes mental abuse is 10 times different than physical abuse. Do they both hurt? Yes, they do. Do they both leave marks? Yes, they do. But when somebody messes with your mental, that's a whole nother thing, right? And that can linger with you. Those bruises will heal, those marks will heal, but that mental, it will go with you from childhood into teenage to adulthood, right? And so that is a big thing that we do talk about on a daily dose, and is that mental. Everything starts right here. So it sabotages you before you even start. And I am so guilty of that. You guys, sabotaging things. And even my daughter has told me that, you guys, like, don't sabotage, don't mess it up. And I do that. And why do we do that? We do that out of fear. We rather for something to go wrong because we're used to living in that space where things go wrong. And so we sabotage a lot of things, and that's a mirror of just of protection, I am going to say, okay? Part 3, the doubt, the relationship that won't let you grow. You guys heard me talk about that as well. You ever notice how doubt shows up at the perfect time, right? Where you say that you want to do something or go out after something, you want to start that business, you want to start that book, and then that whisper comes along that you don't have the money, or you're not a good writer, or you don't have this, or you don't have that, right? That starts to creep in, and it's not loud. Remember we said, like, insecurities are not loud, it's that whisper that you hear, right? And it is right there when the blessing arrives. Doubt walks in the room like, are you sure you deserve this? How many times have we asked ourselves something good is about to happen, and then you question whether you deserve this, or you deserve that good relationship if you've been in a bad one, right? You're sleeping with the enemy when you allow the same negative thoughts to walk up with you, eat with you, walk with you, and speak for you. That's sleeping with the enemy. So yeah. So our show is going to be short today, you guys. It's going to be about 30-35 minutes, right? So usually we do an hour, but we're going to keep it kind of short today. So we're going to welcome everybody else in. If you guys are just tuning in, we are talking about sleeping with the enemy and sleeping with your insecurity, sleeping with your doubt, and sleeping with your fear. Last week's show, we talked about you're not stuck, you are scared. So if you're just tuning in, I am the Daily Dose with the life coach GinaSherrie on WGSL radio. Yeah, your reminder that you matter and you are not walking, you are healing, because this is part of your healing journey. At this moment, we usually take a breath to breathe, you guys, and just inhale and exhale for a second. I do give a lot of information in a short period of time, so I know I might be going a little bit fast, but you guys can go and listen to the show again on Spotify, the Daily Dose with Life Coach GinaSherrie, Pandora. You guys can also listen to it on iHeartRadio, or if you have Apple Podcasts, you can listen there. Okay, all right, so let's jump back into this. Don't let your thoughts run your life. Check and ask yourself, is this thought true or is this trauma speaking? Okay, so I'm going to say that again. If you guys haven't pulled out your journals, please do so. And let you guys know, because I have been asked if I have a journal, and I do. Woo-hoo-hoo. So not only do you guys, I have work for you guys to do, but I do the same work that I put on the show, right? So anytime I put a journal prop out, I also write down my journal and my thoughts. And your journal is for you to be open and raw and honest about things that you've been carrying, things that you've been battling, things that you need to overcome, things you need to work on, right? So in order for this journal prompt to actually work, though, you guys need to be able to be honest. You can't fix things that you are not honest about, right? So I stress that a lot. So yes, I have my journal too. So I will, at the end of the show, I'll be writing down my journals, and then you guys can share that with me on my Instagram, The Daily Dose. You guys can, whatever you guys answer, if you guys want to share it, you guys can either tag me, or tag The Daily Dose, or tag the topic, and I'll put that all at the end, okay? So I know that you guys are tagging me from today's show, right? While we are live on TikTok, if you guys have a question, you guys have something you guys want to share, you guys may do so while we're on live. I did get some DMs earlier when I put the Facebook out, so I would read some of those as well, okay? So one part of changing things and breaking habits is to challenge the voice that you're hearing, that little whisper that's telling you that you're not good enough. You don't have to accept every thought that shows up, right? You can also say something as far as, that's not my truth. I catch myself when that little whisper speaks to me, and I'd be like, you a lie, not today, because I deserve everything that I'm working hard for, everything that I'm working on. I deserve that. So I do find myself repeating that, and I could be doing the most random thing, right? And it will just, that little whisper will start creeping in, and I had to remind myself that, I deserve this, and that little voice is not gonna win, because I let it win too many times. Welcome, Lachey and Teddy. Welcome, you guys. So, and changing your environment is another one. So people ask me why I've moved, or why I did this, or why I did that. Sometimes changing your environment and changing the people that you're around definitely will help you achieve your goals. It'll help you get over your insecurities or your doubts or something like that. You have no idea how much your circle will determine some of the things for you, right? And I know I'm not the only one that's had people in my circle that I can be excited about something and I can be like, this is what I want to do. And then they come in like, oh, are you sure? Do you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you have time for that? Like, those are the people that we need to disconnect from, right? The ones that are trying to purposely place doubt in us. And it could be for any reason, right? Because I told you guys that in the previous show, when we start healing and start growing and start wanting to become a better versions of ourselves, those same people are not going to want you to grow. They're not going to want you to heal because they're so used to you being broken and you being in that little box that they've put you in, that they don't want to see you outside of that box, right? They don't want you to be more than them, right? Because it goes back to misery loves company type thing. And those are the people that we tell you that you need to disconnect from, right? Choosing a new identity, and let's clarify what that means. Okay, stop identifying with your wounds, right? Stop identifying with things that hurt you, things that let you down, or people that let you down. Stop identifying with those, because once a wound heals, let it heal. But if we have a wound and we keep poking at it, what are we doing? We're going to keep that wound open, right? And so we're going to keep identifying with that. Start identifying with your healing, right? Start reiterating your healing process and things that you are working on. That's where those daily affirmations come in and those reminders come in, right? That you are enough, that you are worthy, that you belong, that you don't need to place your, what am I trying to say? You don't have to try to define who you are by the acceptance of other people. There, I got it out. And we happen to do that a lot. And for example, I was out today and I was having a slight conversation and somebody was like, yeah, I have a lot of women sit in my chair and they have something that they want to change because a friend doesn't like, or a friend or a boyfriend or something told them that they were ugly if they had this hairstyle, or they were ugly if they had this color on. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not that you are ugly or you don't like it, but you allow somebody to come in and creep in. Remember that little voice? You allow them to come in, you allow them to creep in and change something that you said that you liked. And then you're out here and you are wanting to be accepted by that person or those people. So you allow them to come in and to change your mind and change the things that you like about yourself, right? So that's a perfect example, right? Of just knowing who you are and standing on business. You guys hear that all the time, right? And not changing who we are to satisfy somebody else or be accepted by somebody else, right? All right, so we have come to the listeners and question comments. So we're gonna run through some of those real quick. I have a comment from Shonda in Atlanta. It says, Gina, I realize my insecurities show up as anger. I lash out because I feel like I'm not enough. Oh, how many times have we gone through that? Guilty. Shonda, thank you for your honesty. Anger is often a secondary emotion. It covers hurt, fear, and shame. And your awareness is the first step to healing. Okay? So now that you identified why and where it stems from, now that you can work on that. A few things that you could do that kind of help me is before I allow somebody to trigger me or get angry, because people used to play me like a Nintendo. If y'all know what a Nintendo is, I'm showing my age right now, but if y'all know what a Nintendo is, then you guys know, right? But people used to play me like that all the time, and I used to allow that because it used to trigger me. So now when I feel like somebody is trying to trigger me, I just take a moment, I step away. And sometimes I have to do that countdown. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? If you know where that's from, then you know. But that actually helped me so that I can deal with those feelings in that moment, right? Instead of allowing something or someone to trigger me and then I lash out in anger. So it gives me a chance to step back and to refocus and regroup my thoughts and my mind and then approach it in a different way, right? Because that is a part of healing. And we do have things that we have gone through in our past that trigger us, right? And so that's one thing that I will tell you, Shonda, is to definitely, you already did the first step by recognizing. Now we need to find a different way to approach. And if you need to take a step back and gather your thoughts and gather your feelings in that moment, and allow yourself just to walk away and then rejoin later, then that, I think that would be a great tool for you to begin to approach things differently, right? Get your mind and your thoughts together, right? Because yeah, anger is definitely a secondary emotion to hide or mask things or protect ourselves, right? So question from Marcus, and we got one right out of Jacksonville. Shout out to Jacksonville, Florida. How do I stop doubting myself when I've failed so many times? Okay. Marcus, failure isn't a verdict, it's data. So going back to the drawing board, figuring out why things in your opinion is failing, right? And everybody has their own definition of fail, right? So when I go out for new things and it doesn't work out, I don't think that's a failure. To me, failure is never trying, never going after anything. So but my definition is different than what you may be thinking, right? But every attempt, it should have taught you something. You don't need confidence to move, you need commitment. So as long as you are committed to what you want to do and you want and the things that you want, keep trying and keep going after it. You might need to go back to the drawing board and change your strategy, but don't change the goal, right? So, and think of it as, a process of you learning, and keep going. I would say you fail when you give up. So keep going. Change your strategy, rethink it, go back to the drawing board, and go ahead and attempt it again. It's there. You just need to figure out what steps you're taking that is not aligned to where you're wanting to go, if my words are making sense, okay? Comment from Alicia online. This topic is tough because I feel like I've lived with insecurity so long I wouldn't know who I am without it. Okay, Alicia, me and you are definitely been through that. I've lived with so much insecurity throughout most of my life that I did not have an identity without that, right? I can put on a poker face. I was good at putting on poker faces, but that's real, right? When the enemy becomes familiar, we confuse comfort with safety, right? We felt safety in that particular holding on to that, right? So, but comfort can kill your growth. So I tell people all the time, if you are comfortable in that space, you need to do something else, because becoming complacent in one thing, that sometimes keep you stuck and keep you bound in that thing, right? If my words are making sense. You need to allow yourself to become someone new, and that's changing your environment, changing your surroundings, some of the people that you outgrew, changing that as well. And so Alicia, yeah, definitely that has worked for me. Some of the people that I thought that were in my circle that cared for me, loved me, yada yada yada, they didn't. So I had to unplug from a lot of things that just did not align with who I wanted to be and where I was going. So I had to figure that piece out. Was it hard? Yes. I'm not going to say that it's going to be an easy road. I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy to disconnect from people. But what I will say is that you have to love yourself enough to know what you want and where you're going, and be able to walk alone if you have to, until you connect with the right people that you are supposed to be aligned with. Okay. So you need to disconnect from that enemy, and you need to stop listening to that small whisper, and you need to start telling yourself that you are and you deserve, right? And it could be anything that you want, that you deserve, right? I tell a lot of people to go and like get that uh, little marker that you can erase, the erase marker, and write on your mirror in the bathroom. Get a little yellow sticky notes, right? That you write your affirmations down on, something that you can look at every day, and then remind yourself on who you are and where you want to be, right? So thank you, Alicia, for your online. Thank you, Marcus from Jacksonville. Shout out to that. And Shonda for Atlanta. Atlanta always shows up, so I appreciate you guys for your thoughts and your comments there as well. Okay, so we're gonna do our final takeaway. You may have been sleeping with insecurities. You may have been walking up next to doubt, waking up next to doubt. You may be feeding low self-esteem like it's a part of you. But today you are giving yourself permission to break up with the enemy within. So if you guys need to write your breakup letters, you guys can definitely do that. I know it may sound cheesy, but it definitely helps. And you write all that stuff down that you've been holding on to, okay? Because you deserve peace. You deserve confidence. You deserve to rise into the version of yourself that you've been wanting to be, that you've been praying to be. And that is walking with your head up and a fixed crown, right? So if you do need to write that breakup letter, do so. Burn it. And that could be, your breakup letter could be from people, from that relationship. It's definitely from sleeping with your enemy, which is yourself, right? So I encourage you to do that. And then you can either burn it, or maybe if you want to hold on to it and months later go back and read it, and you can see where you started and how your journey is now. It might be a good reflection. Okay, so let's wrap this up, you guys. We had you guys on here for long enough, so let's wrap this up. I thank you guys so much for sharing the space with me today. Yeah, I think we covered a bit. I know it's 35 minutes, you guys. We give a lot of information, but if you guys have any questions at all, you guys can definitely connect with me on my Instagram, The Daily Dose. You guys can DM me right here off of TikTok. And you guys can also email me at hostGinaSherrie at gmail.com. Again, it's hostGinaSherrie at gmail.com. All right, so we do air on Sundays. I don't have a particular time. Sometimes the time will change just depending on the day, you guys. But if I am live in the studio, it is at 11 a.m. Central Eastern time. Gotta forget where I'm at sometimes. But I hope you guys do a takeaway. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I forgot our journal prompt. So let's do that real quick before I end this. Let's get to our journal prompt. Okay, this week's journal prompt. What lie have I been telling myself, and what truth is ready to take its space? Write it on the top of the page, sit with it, breathe through it, and let that truth rise. Let's do it again. So if you guys are writing this down, or you guys trying to make a mental note, then you guys have it. But our journal prompt, because I almost skipped all over that, you guys. What lie have I been telling myself, and what truth is ready to take its place? Okay, so that is your journal prompt for the week. And definitely be raw, be honest with yourself. You cannot change or make a change or work on change if you are not honest about what you actually have to work on. Okay, so I'll read it one more time for your journal prompt. What lie have I been telling myself, and what truth is ready to take its place? Okay, so that's your journal prompt. So write that down, get it to it. You guys have a week. If you guys want to share that, if you want me to share some of your, if you guys are comfortable with that, then you guys can, like I said, use my social media channels, my Instagram, The Daily Dose, DM me right here on TikTok, or you guys can connect with me on through my email, host GinaSherrie@gmail.com. For the ones that are connected to my Spotify, go to Spotify. You guys find me, The Daily Dose with Life Coach GinaSherrie. You guys can leave me messages there. I'm actually going to put the journal prompt on Spotify too, so that you guys, if you guys are recapping this, you guys can go back and you guys can read it there. You guys can answer that there as well. Yeah, and you guys can stay connected. Now when you guys do that, it does hit me, it goes straight to my phone if you guys leave me anything on Spotify, so I get it directly and I do answer back. Okay, so, and if you guys want to have a question from this show that you guys want to read on the next, you guys are more than welcome to do that as well. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So, oh, you guys, I keep forgetting. My YouTube channel is up, okay? So we started the YouTube channel, 2 podcasts, 1 host is the name of that, and I will put that in the link and everything once I'm done with this live and I post, okay? So you guys can have that. So if you guys want to go there and follow me on my YouTube channel as well, more video is there, not just audio, so you guys can definitely go there, right? So I think that is it. Let's do this. We've covered a lot today. You may have shared your bed with insecurities, okay? You may have been waking up next to self-doubt. You may have let low self-esteem speak louder than your purpose, but today you have reclaimed your narrative, okay? And whoever controls the narrative controls the story. And I want you to take this away with you guys, with you today. You are worthy. You are capable. You are growing. Okay, and you are becoming. So if you guys want to write that down on your mirrors, if you guys want to write that down somewhere on in your journals or on your sticky notes, I will read it one more time. You are worthy, you are capable, you are growing, and you are becoming. All right, you guys, thank you so much, family, for joining me today on The Daily Dose with your life coach, GinaSherrie, right here on WGSL Talk Online Radio 104.7. And remember to stay connected. I gave you guys my Instagram handle, but if you guys missed it, it is The Daily Dose. You guys can email me at hostginasherrie@gmail.com. That's host GinaSherrie, GinaSherrie@gmail.com. All right, so let's keep healing, growing, and transforming on the dose, at one dose at a time. Okay, until next time, take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you guys next Sunday. Have a great day. Bye.